Anyway, so yes, while today is a day of celebration for my brother's birthday, unfortunately last week was a day of mourning, as we lost someone wonderful last Friday, Hollywood celebrity Anne Heche. Right? Why is that fun? Why are you laughing?
Just the fucking way you said it.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to
Today
you.
is a celebration for some. Last week was a day of mourning for others.
I mean, thanks for making me depressed and everything, but like, I'm not mourning at all about this. So,
All right, listen.
Give a fuck.
All right, Tim,
Anne Heche,
you're going for a daytime Emmy here, Tim. Come on.
No, this. Listen, guys, come on. This isn't a joking matter. I do. It's unfortunate.
It might be.
That, stop. Anne Heche, yeah, she passed away last Friday. She was in a coma. She was in a coma for what? How long?
About a month, I think.
no, it was only
It
a
wasn't
couple
a
of
month.
days.
It wasn't long. I
thought it was a month.
only a couple days.
It felt like a month.
And I know there's there's some things surrounding the whole death there, which we'll get into here shortly. But I did want to pay a small little tribute to Anne Heche, because from what I remember, she really only had two popular movies, like two really popular movies that I remember.
She was in Chicago PD.
Okay,
Was she?
see, I didn't watch.
Oh, I didn't
Chicago
know.
PD.
The
So
only-
where was she? Well, let's do this tribute real quick to her, and then we can, because I want to get back to where she first kind of came into with her some '90s movies. Danny and I were talking about the other day. She was looking to maybe be the next star, right? And so the big thing with her was in a lot of her earlier movies, she had really short hair, like really short hair.
She always did.
And yeah, and for me, I'm gonna be honest, I do not like short hair on a woman, but she pulled it off.
Yeah.
Well, I thought her and
Well-
Ellen like scissored back in the day, but I guess.
Yeah,
No, they
mean,
did. They
they
did.
did.
That's probably.
Oh, let's go.
yeah. I mean, that movie 6 Days and 7 Nights.
That's
with Harrison
it.
Ford. First off,
the only movie I remember in.
I actually,
I'm gonna get to you over here in a second.
actually did see this movie. They had its moments for the most part. I mean, Harrison Ford was hitting on her the whole damn time. But
I really liked this movie. They kind of fell in love a little bit. It was a good rom-com. You know, it had a little bit of action for the guys, comedy for the guys, but then had the romance angle to it. But
you remember the really hot? I guess she was Latina. Latina in the.
on.
I'm just
Hold
saying,
on.
there was
Hold on,
another
Craig.
girl.
Hold on, Craig. Hold on, Craig.
Fuck.
We're getting there. So anyway, yeah, she kind of opened my eyes, right, to what a woman could be. No, I'm just joking. No, but I mean, there was at moments in the movie where Anne Heche, she did look relatively attractive. This scene was definitely one of my favorites. This is where she had some sort of snake down her pants, and Harrison Ford reaches in and grasps right a hole of that sucker.
This is attractive for you? Like she looks like a tranny.
She has nice. She has nice boobs. That's about it.
She has small
look
boobs, but
tranny.
look at those nipples.
Oh
She's
yeah,
tranny.
yo, she has amazing nipples. I don't care about fucking nipples.
The water
Like,
must be cold,
I
man.
do. I like nice nipples.
I mean, if they're on nice boobs, sure.
Sorry, I'm not into Cardi B, but
What's wrong with Cardi B?
Oh my
her
god.
nipples.
What?
So that's like your like upper end of like what a good nipple should look like, or
Yeah, I like the little tiny ones.
I mean,
What, like the tiny ones, or like the ones with the bumpy brails?
Listen, ladies.
Stevie Wonders.
I'm not
Well,
pre-
like,
I'm
are my tiny enough? Or?
I'm not prejudiced, ladies.
okay.
I'm for all nipples, all sizes. They're all nice.
Nipples matter.
All nipples matter, baby. All nipples matter. There's not a bad looking one.
That's $1 million idea, Danny.
I mean, unless they're like red and hard and like got some like crusty shit on them, then no.
got
Fuck
them big
out of here.
salami
Go get
nipples.
looked at. But all nipples matter.
True, and they do. And so to Craig's point, while she was looking pretty good in this movie,
There was
and
a
she was the female star of this movie, she unfortunately wasn't even the hottest.
No, she
in
wasn't.
the movie. Jacqueline, I don't even know how to say her last name.
It doesn't matter. It was instant boner when you saw her.
And she fucked Ross from Friends
What's
in this movie.
what's friends?
Wait, is it? We talking about the same movie?
6 Days and 7 Nights.
I don't
She was in
remember
it.
her.
She was in it.
She was the one who was friends with benefits, kind of, with Harrison
Oh.
Ford, and then ends up sleeping with Anne Heche and David Schwimmer were.
Oh,
were
that's
engaged.
right. Okay.
And she worked on the island, like it was a Hawaiian island, but she was like Hispanic or something like that. and they end up sleeping together, and you don't see nothing, but like you see from the back where she like flashes him, like just pulls her top off, and it's
See
like,
her in a thong.
This was rated R. That's right. That's right.
You do see her in a
forgot
thong.
about that.
I remember that tremendously.
I'm
I
about to
wanted
watch
to
this
suck them
again. It's
thighs.
been so long since I've seen it.
It's actually a really good movie, right?
I mean, I don't know about
I
really
own it,
good.
so I'll let you borrow it.
I liked it.
It's
I
alright.
like it.
It was okay.
But I'll tell you what, Jacqueline here, I mean, I'm sure she's been in other things, but to my knowledge, she's never really been in anything big other than 6 Days and 7 Nights.
I think I may have seen her in something else before, but
She probably was, but I can't think of it.
I want to say she was in some kind of Kurt Russell movie. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Oh, Kurt Russell. Oh, yeah. And then the other popular movie for Anne Heche, shortly after this movie, I believe, or maybe before, in the early 90s as well, with Tommy Lee Jones, the movie Volcano. Remember Volcano, where there was a volcano under Los Angeles?
Dante's Peak
I actually
was better.
saw this when it first came out. Actually, it was actually really good. Actually, I mean,
Yeah, I liked it too. I mean, it was one of those goofy movies where Tommy Lee Jones is like a human superhero. His character, I don't even remember what agency he worked for, but it had something to do within the city. And
it was
like,
something for the.
Oh, that guy.
It was something that he did. It was something for the city that he did. Basically, in the event of a natural disaster, he could control all the city's resources without having to contact anybody.
Story, but throughout this whole movie, you think he's like some super cop, kind of like what Bruce Willis kind of turned into in Die Hard. Like he went from being just some regular cop to some like superhero.
That man could save the world, though. John McClane, he really could.
Dante's Peak is still better.
I mean, yes, it was a good movie. I don't know. That's a good one though. McDermott's probably like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Comparing Volcano to Dante's Peak, which was better?
You got Men in Black versus James Bond. So
Exactly.
Good point. I mean, I like Tommy Lee Jones, but I also like Pierce Brosnan. I also really like Linda Hamilton.
What's that face for, McDermott?
Ooh.
So I got a little hair in my mouth and stuff.
And he's really bored with this conversation.
he's not a movie buff like the rest of us.
Well, not from the 90s anyway. He was like not even born yet.
Well,
You probably weren't even born during these movies, were you?
I was born in '94, you fucking jaguar.
this came out in '97, so you were 3 when this came out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not.
Volcano came out in 97?
Yep, I'm pretty damn sure.
Don't
97.
question him on movie years.
Yeah, I saw his wall.
Well,
He's gonna be right.
I saw his wall.
Well, I couldn't remember which came out first, Volcano or 6 Days and 7 Nights. I felt like 6
Ask
Days and
him.
7 Nights. Came out
6
first,
Days and
but-
7 Nights did come out first.
So, okay, so like, and it was probably
I'll
right
even
before
tell
like
you-
95, 96.
I'll even tell you who
It might have been
fucking-
96.
I'll even fucking tell you who
Like I
directed
said,
it.
I saw Volcano when this came out. I saw it in the theater when it first came out. I loved it. My cousin wasn't too crazy about it, but but I enjoyed it.
Who directed it?
I couldn't tell you.
Really?
Nope.
All right, so hold on. I do have a question that you should be able to answer.
Okay.
Who was, I don't even know how you explain it. There was another character in the movie Volcano who was like kind of like Tommy Lee Jones support on the inside, like in the main building where they were trying to figure everything out.
You mean who
right?
played you want
Who was that actor?
Don Cheadle.
Oh yeah, see, all right. So I've
War
already
Machine.
found what
Bro.
Craig's
War Machine.
new thing is.
The white people got Rain Man and the black people got Craig.
Fuck you very much.
I mean,
So,
this is
You
fact.
wish you could have my
found-
knowledge.
I
do?
found like Craig's little thing we can do. Little occasional trivia, especially if it comes to movies.
Now keep in mind,
no.
now, I am a movie buff, but keep in mind there are movies I've never seen and I've never
better-
seen before, believe it or not, and there are movies I refuse to watch.
You better make it hard, Tim. That's all I gotta say.
I know.
This motherfucker has no. Well, you saw his fucking wall, Tim.
Yeah.
God damn.
Showgirls. Showgirls.
Ceiling to floor.
Great movie, should have got an Oscar.
Hey, thank you. Everyone else says it was a shitty movie. It was a great fucking movie. You know what, Craig? You're my new best friend. You really know about that.
I mean, not new, like your first best friend. Like,
As many times as that girl had to show her boobies and be in some very
I just don't
intimate
like-
positions, she should have got an Oscar just for doing that.
I like the movie. She just did the pool scene
The pool
was
scene was the best fucking part.
it
What the fuck are you
freaked
talking
me, bro.
about?
She had a fucking seizure while fucking. That's how she made it.
That's how good it was.
Who does that while they're fucking?
My ex.
Craig, McDermott. Have you ever seen Showgirls?
No.
You need to watch.
I mean,
we're gonna
listen.
I
It's
don't
not
like movies, so you're not like.
It's not one of those movies
It's not
that
about the
you
movie.
have
We're
to
just gonna
see
watch
before
the
you
one
die.
scene. We're just gonna watch the
Oh,
one scene. I'll
Jesus.
download it and I'll send it to you.
Oh, I thought you meant like right now online. Like, no, we can't do that.
Tim, don't do that. I have the movie on Blu-ray. It'll be so much better.
I do too.
There we
Actually, I
go.
have it downstairs.
Guys' night in, right? I'll bring the KY.
Oh, hell And it,
Not coming.
striptease would be acceptable as well.
Or we just watch
but it could
porn.
have
I
more.
mean, why beat around the bush? You fucking watch porn.
Yeah, but
fuck.
as hot as Demi Moore was in that movie, honestly, that's good.
You know what? Riley Reed's just as hot on fucking line. So I'm just saying, like.
All right, so apparently there's a little bit of I don't know if I want to call it conspiracy, but a little bit of questions surrounding the death of Anne Heche.
Stop right
I know
there.
you guys
Yes.
kind of getting into it.
The government fucking killed her. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna say it right here. Yes.
Oh my god.
The government killed her.
There, bro.
And the Catholics probably had something to do with it. I don't know.
How?
The Catholics.
How did they
I
kill
can't
her?
even move my mouth.
Are they the same group who
So
killed
do you
Kennedy?
not agree, McDermott?
I'm 50-50. I just want to hear why you think they killed her. I'm
right.
50-50.
So here's my take on it. So
They're the same ones who killed Kennedy.
number one, they said that she was like unresponsive in a coma already when they pulled her from the car. Okay,
I don't
so
think they said
She
in a
was
coma.
speeding. She was speeding.
right, but they also said she was unresponsive. She wasn't moving, anything like that.
Okay.
All right, so
that wasn't a body bag, so don't say that.
I never said it was a body bag.
Okay.
Never said it was. I don't like that you're assuming what I'm going to say. So,
Wow.
you see the video of them wheeling her to the ambulance. All right. So, number one, when have you ever seen firefighters walking with the gurney or the bed or whatever, and loading a patient into an ambulance? Because I've never seen a firefighter do it. It's usually EMTs, and whenever it's something
I'm gonna break it down for each segment. Your firefighters are your paramedics and EMTs in 98% of the cities now.
They have to be
So
trained as
when
an
they go
EMT.
to a car wreck, they're in that gear already. Even our local guys do it.
So why wouldn't an EMT who's driving the ambulance load her up in there?
Because they might have been the fucking guys actually doing it.
Okay,
But
and
when you're at a car wreck, you have to have your gear on.
and then
Especially in a bad car wreck like that.
and then right before she gets loaded into the ambulance, you see her, because it's a sheet that she's laying on. It's a sheet, a big
it's a
sheet, and
burn
they
sheet.
and then they. So there's a split down the middle. So you see her open it up and then sit up trying to get off, and then the video ends. But the other part of it is, so while she's in the hospital, they say, all right, she went into a coma. They say, oh, she's pulling through. She's going to come out of it. She's doing well. And then all of a sudden she dies. And on top of that, she's already made a movie about human sex trafficking. That's out. That there's a lot of people that didn't like that she did this movie. And it asks a lot of questions. And then,
Anne, I just found something else. Hold on, and then you can go. She also did a movie back in 2008 called Toxic Skies, which talks about the government creating a fake pandemic.
Yeah.
oh, so my opinion is she knows too much, and they were waiting for a way to get rid of her. Plus, when was the last time you've seen her in a movie that wasn't on Lifetime? She got blacklisted by Hollywood because of her relationship with Ellen.
I've definitely heard that.
The White Oprah. Go ahead.
So, I mean, and I am already under the impression that Ellen has way more power than people think that she does. Because
runs fucking Kitty Fuck Island.
exactly.
Well, money is power. That's what
Exactly.
money
She's
up.
got a ton of power, and I definitely think that she's running kitty rings.
Yeah,
And
Helen goes to that fucking island still and fingers 7-year-old girls. I mean, let's be honest.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's like,
But I'm agreeing in the situation is sketch, but like I think the scene, like the car wreck scene itself, was legit.
I mean,
I think like those people that were with her like were actually firefighters, paramedics, like everything they did. Because when you say how fast was she? She was fucking dusting. Like she was
comatose.
Ricky Bobby that shit, you know.
Comatose.
And then she fucking wrecked. The only sketchy thing is they said it sounds like a bomb went off. Like. Was something under her car when she wrecked. What they said, people have said they've seen a black van behind her at times. So, like, obviously, I don't think it was like an accident, but I think the people who were there, like, were legit people. Like, nobody at that scene fought with her. The 2 firefighters loading her in were probably the paramedics. Due to her going through a fucking building, they probably had to have that gear on. Plus, it was a fire also. So, they had to wear that. And then her just magically popping up. I mean, that the brain injury she sustained, that could have been, she might have been unresponsive at the time. And then something like the pain might have jolted her and she might have been like, oh, fuck. And then pushing her back down is like, you need to lay the fuck down, bitch. The only thing on that whole scene that I'm surprised you didn't say was if you hit and you wreck your car like that, I don't understand the grab and go, like why they didn't have her in a neck brace and on a backboard. But in that sense, they might have made the call that like, yo, this bitch is bad.
They could have pronounced her DOA on the scene. That's a possibility.
Didn't do that.
And yeah, they could.
They didn't.
I'm literally watching it right now.
They didn't do that. The only thing I think is how bad it was. They were looking at her. I guess people were saying she had no burns, but like you can't tell from the back. It might have been in the front she had burn. Like you can't tell from that video she had fucking burns.
It kind of looks.
Well, the shirt she has is like a brown. Like you can't tell from that. People are like, she's not burned. Like you don't know that. But
yeah, it is
if they had the fucking burn sheet on her, she probably has a burn somewhere.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, I think they were like, she's unresponsive. At this point in time, if we grab her and move her, she might be paralyzed, but if we don't do this quick, she might be dead. Like, they probably weighed the options. So people were like, she should be in a C car, she should be in a net, like this and this. It was honestly probably one of those, like, how is this bitch even still breathing right now? Let's just grab her and fucking go. But
she's probably in shock.
Like, the whole thing is sketchy. Like, it's like, okay, now she's like coming out with the kitty ring. She was about to expose a couple people. The Clintons, our fucking lovely artificial president. All
politicians. It's all rich people. Politicians,
so it's like,
famous people.
How it happened, but I mean, nobody got the video of the black van following her. You know?
I mean, even if so the whole scene and them taking her out and putting her in the ambulance, even if that is legit, I think that whoever the powers that be said, oh, this is our chance. Let's, they're putting on the news like, oh, she's pulling through, she's doing good. But then they're like, well, this is our chance. Let's end her.
The news is going to make up their own story one way or another, rather.
I mean, yeah, true, bad, but
so. I mean, they won regardless because she had a manic episode years ago.
Yeah,
and now this is just put up to a manic episode. Like, oh, she's just not being herself. But
yeah, this is our chance, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Take her out.
And it's a tough one because I try not to be a conspiracy theorist type person, but I mean,
it's fun.
You have this situation. Right, which there's still, obviously, I think this one's not an obvious one, but then you have the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, which there's a lot of stuff behind that one. But then you can even go back, like to, what was it, 97 with Princess Diana. Right?
Well, they said they blame paparazzi. They blame paparazzi all for that with the whole Princess Diana shit. I mean, and they still blame it to this day.
To this day, they still do, but there's still other questions.
Mm-hmm. There's always going to be questions. There's always going to be conspiracy theories when it comes to that kind of shit.
Go look up Macaulay Culkin's documentary. He fucking puts a lot out there too.
Well, that's what you get.
Can we just
that's what you get for
take it like
that's what you get for playing with Michael Jackson
and say maybe Roger Goodell off Aaron Hernandez then?
Oh Jesus!
Like, I mean, because come on, like all these big business motherfuckers, like. Hey, Jeffrey Epstein, if he decided he wanted a rat, that our country's going to look fucking weird, So
you're saying, could Roger Goodell could have killed Ray Lewis during that whole situation, if that's the case?
Like, I'm saying, like, Anne had some dirt on people.
Oh, yeah.
I think our government loves when the American people think this because they want to be feared. Like, yeah, we're coming after you next, motherfucker.
Well, the government, they're all liars and scumbags anyway. Nobody's faithful in government. And that's all sides.
It's like you sit back and you think, okay, can they really make that happen? Like, like, can they go into that hospital, tell the doctors, like, hey, she needs to die, and everybody keep their fucking mouth shut? Like, my thing is, if all those fucking firefighters on that fucking scene, one of them would have fucking said by now, like, yeah, there was some sketchy shit happening.
Maybe it didn't happen until they got to the hospital.
Look what they did. That's what I'm saying. Look what they did with 9/11. Those motherfucking firefighters from the get-go and first responders were like, yeah, hey, there were some explosions that shouldn't have been happening where the plane didn't hit.
That's even like with people saying that like professional sports are fixed. And sure, I've seen stuff that like, yeah, it really makes you wonder, like some dumbass plays, but there's so many people in professional sports, you would think if it was, it would have gotten like truly leaked by now, right?
You can make an argument for the sports factor, especially for a couple Super Bowls recently about certain sporting events being fixed, especially that Seahawks game where they had Marshawn. You're telling me somebody didn't get paid in that game?
Bro, we're not going to talk about the Patriots and Falcons game, though? Like,
no, I'm talking about the Patriots and the Seahawks game.
I understand that, but that one, too. Hey, listen.
You're telling me somebody didn't get paid in that game.
Mark my words. Well, I'm going to put this out there. The Yankees are going to win the World Series this year.
No, they're not.
If they do,
I'm a Yankee fan.
If they do, I want you to thank Nancy Pelosi. Mark my words. And I'll explain myself after they win the World Series.
They're not going to win the World Series. I have better faith in than the Mets than I do in the Yankees right now.
I'm not going by statistics or how they look or how any team looks. They could be the worst.
Yankees are winning. Fan. That hurt the
Yankees are winning the World Series this year.
No, they're not.
All the red tape is pointing towards the Yankees.
No, they're not.
Starting from Nancy. It's all thanks to Nancy Pelosi.
They are not. I said
stock trading.
I said at the beginning after the All-Star break, I said, watch the Yankees fall apart, and
it doesn't matter if they fall apart. Right now. As long as they make the playoffs, they're winning.
They'll make the playoffs, but they're not.
I'm not talking about talent. It has nothing to do with talent. I'm talking about fixed. I'm not talking about talent.
I'm talking about conspiracy.
I'm talking about conspiracies. Yankees will win the World Series thanks to Nancy Pelosi and stock trading. Look it up. I'll explain myself after they win it.
I mean, I've heard. Go ahead, McDermott.
It's not.
No, they won't.
America is based off fucking money, right?
That's all this country's ever been based off of is money.
Look what happened when
the almighty dollar
were making that shit blow up on crypto. They shut it down. Look what happens.
GameStop.
Do I think fucking sports are fucking set? No, I think to an extent yet, because if somebody's about to hit a fucking parlay, that coach is gonna be like, yeah, hey, Vegas called. They don't want you to get another yard, so we got to fake a leg injury right now.
Well, it's not.
Nobody wants to pay $18 million. I think Anne was about to expose a whole bunch of people. It was going to ruffle some feathers. It was going to make America really start losing some money. They offer. I mean, it's fucking what happens.
And honestly, with sports too, it's not. I wouldn't call it not just the government when it comes to corruption. When it comes to the sports, you got to think there's you got to bring mafia into it too, because they do have they have had they've had their own little says on who wins and who loses. It's all about money. It's all about It's all about power. So hey, it's money walks, bullshit talks. So
I don't think
they've been in.
Would be I can see UFC guys taking a dive, boxers taking a dive. I think
especially
that Falcons game. Hey, Falcons, you just choked. That's what happened.
You don't think nothing? You don't think somebody got paid in that game with the Falcons? You just think that was just straight up the Falcons just blew it?
Yeah,
I do. I agree. I'm kind of on McDermott's side.
I think the San Francisco Baltimore game, when at halftime the lights went out and it was a long delay. I don't think they fucked the game up, but I think they're like, hey, we got to stop the momentum a little bit and hit the light.
We got to get
it's the momentum change, because momentum's everything in football.
We got to get the ratings.
If you take that momentum away,
it's a whole new game.
We got to
even out the game.
We got to get the ratings up. We got to make sure that we make this somewhat entertaining for the fans. They don't want to see a team get their ass chewed out. We got to make this somewhat entertaining.
Yeah, I think they do stuff like that.
We got to bring a little drama into the game.
Yeah, I'd agree that I don't think that the whole league or all professional sports is fixed. Once again, I think there's just too many hands involved that would get out. But yeah, certain people maybe getting involved with certain things. Or you even remember there, how many years ago was that the defensive coordinator? I mean, this is a little bit different, but that Greg Williams from the Saints was paying his players
Bounty
extra
gate.
money.
Bounty
whenever-
gate.
I mean, that gets out the ball boy snitch on the deflate gate. I mean, all that comes out. Like, you're not going to keep everybody's name, and especially some of these players who's got outed from the NFL. Like, you don't think Ray Rice would have been like, yeah, man, they were paying us to fucking